Hey guys, good morning and thanks for joining. So yesterday we completed demo part. So today onwards classes are going to start. So in the today class, what I'm going to explain and what is agenda for today class. So course content and syllabus. Yesterday someone is asking what is course content and syllabus. So actually I thought explain in the today's class. So first we can discuss about course content and also syllabus. Thereafter we can go and we can discuss about couple of cybersecurity definitions. These definitions or acronyms are full forms we can use regularly for next 90 to maybe 120 classes. Okay, so this is the way how the flow it will go. And already I created one of the folder as I mentioned yesterday, cybersecurity batch number 4. So under this one, I created one of the Excel sheet name is called as cybersecurity material. All the material is available in this Excel sheet. And whenever I want to explain about diagram or logical representation or pictorial representation, then I can use network architecture diagrams. You can go and you can refer this one also. And whatever people are attending the interviews and myself attending the interviews or other candidates are attending the interviews. So I created one of the Excel sheet name is called interview questions. And company wise, you can see the interview questions also in this one. So like Deloitte or TCS or Infosys, all those companies interview questions you can identify. In this one regularly I will update. So how the interview and what is the interview questions, their expectations, whether whatever we are discussing in the classes, it is matching the interview pattern in the current trend of the cyber security or not. And also here folders also I will create. These folders basically based on the course content and syllabus. Because as I mentioned yesterday itself, so here we are going to discuss about there are so many domains. So if I'm making only one folder and if keeping updating all those folders, there are a lot of complex and also it is difficulties to identify what to read and how to read and so on. That is the reason. So topic wise, I can go and I can create a folder. And for example, networking concepts is one of the folder name. In the similar way, next one I'm going to create endpoint security. So all the endpoint security related domain videos you can identify here. In the similar way, I can create cyber security, I can create cloud security, I can create application security and so on. So whatever topic we are going to complete, just you can click on the networking concepts based on the course content and syllabus. So yesterday I completed already demo and I uploaded this video. So you can identify all the networking concepts here. In this similar way, so whatever topic wise we are going to discuss, those topic wise folders I will create and you can go and you can watch those videos in case your classes are missed out. So that is about our introduction about how to access this particular Google Drive access. And once this today class is going to complete, I can share Google form. Just you can complete your full name, last name, first name, and also your email address. I can share these videos. So that is overall agenda and overall introduction for how to start and what to start and so on. So let's go and discuss about what is the course content and syllabus. I'm going to discuss for next 90 to 120 days in the class. So first one is networking concepts. Under the networking concepts, I'm going to discuss about first and foremost OS layers. So these OS layers mainly it can be used for communication purpose. Whenever any end user he wants to give one of the printout, or maybe one of the doctor he is giving one of the printout, or maybe you are accessing one of the website, or maybe you are withdrawing some of the money through PhonePe or Google Pay, or maybe you are booking one of the ride through so or Rapido and so on. So these day-to-day basis examples I will give. Please try to understand how we can correlate this voice layer approach. Okay, so voice full form is open system interconnection. So it is basically communication channel. That communication channel, maybe you are sending one of the email, or maybe you are accessing one of the YouTube channel, or maybe you are chatting in the Instagram or Facebook, or maybe you are transferring the money through PhonePe or Google Pay, or maybe you are writing a book through Rapido or Uber and so on. Those places we can use these voice layer approach. So that is called communication channel. So here apps in between you and also apps in between you and also printer, or maybe in between two devices, how the communication will happen. That communication channel can be represented using the voice layers. So once this one is going to complete, then we are going to discuss about TCP IP layers. So voice layers are total 7 only. So the TCP IP layers are like advanced version of the voice layers. So instead of using the 7 layers, why can't we go and we can reduce that one to so 4 layers? Those 4 layers we are going to discuss this one. And these voice, so one second, communication channel purpose we can use here. That communication channel may be in between, as I mentioned, two devices, two peer devices, two neighbor devices, or two end users, or one of the server and database, or one of the server and end user, one of the server and application, one of the end user and application, vice versa. So those places we can use this voice layer approach. And TCP IP layers are advanced version of the voice layers. So where can we use this TCP layer approach? Mainly for troubleshooting purpose. So troubleshooting purpose, if you want to do something, what is mean troubleshooting? Fixing of the problem in the networking side, or maybe our SIM tool side, or EDR tool side, or maybe our networking side. If you want, sometimes problems will occur. So that may be router problem or switch problem, or that may be our SIM tool problem, that may be our firewall problem or EDR problem or antivirus problem or DLP problems and so on. So if you want to fix that problem, what we will follow, we'll follow TCP layer approach. So for that one, we can use couple of tools also to troubleshoot or fix the problem. So example, we can call Wireshark. Okay. So this is the way how the correlation you should understand whenever I'm going to explain the topics. Okay. So that is the second topic we are going to discuss. And third topic, classes of IP address. So there are two different types. What is, first of all, what is IP address? What is MAC address? What is IPv4 address? And what is IPv6 address? So how the classes of the IP addresses are categorized or defined or classified? What is public IP and private IP? Whenever any external attacker, they're trying to do hacking part, once the alert is triggered, how can you classify the respective incident, whether internal employee has done the attack or external attacker has done? So if you know about the classes of the IP address, then only you can classify the whether the internal employee knowingly or unknowingly or intentionally or unintentionally has done attack, or maybe external attacker wantedly has done to steal data or to do data breach or to do exfiltration of the data. In the similar way, so there are different ways he will try to do the hacking part on the endpoint side or network side or application side or cloud side or database or server and so on. So if you want to classify the attack, then we can use the classes of the IP address. So there are 5 classes of the IP address: class A, class B, class D, and class E. Once again, under that one, we can define the what is private IP address range and public IP address range. Okay. So to verify how the attacker or insider threat is going to happen. Don't worry, just I'm going too much in depth now itself. So class of IP address to verify how the attacker or maybe insider threat means internal employee is trying to do the hacking part. So that may be knowingly or unknowingly. So if you know about these class of IP address, then only you will try to know about so whether it is internal attack or external attack. Okay. So next one is private IP versus public IP. It's a very important topic, this one. So this topic, if you doesn't know about the private IP and what is public IP. So first of all, what is IP address as I mentioned? So IP address is nothing but is logical logical network, logical separation or labeling, I can say. If you want to label or tag any system, we can use logical address. So that logical address, we can call it as a IP address. For every system, whatever devices are connected in the network, so we can use either private IP or public IP. In case the traffic is coming from external to internal, that one, it will come via to public IP. So within the organization, if the communication wants to happen, that labeling part we can assign through our private IP address range. So this one also we can verify whenever any security incident is triggered or alarm it has come, or maybe instant it has occurred, then we can classify the our attack as a external attack or internal attack. To classify the attack as a internal attack or external attack. So that is the difference between private versus public IP, and also how we can correlate in our practical oriented scenarios. Okay, so how we can correlate this topic to our practical oriented scenarios? Whenever any attacker or internal employee, they're trying to do hacking or they're trying to do attacks related to cyber or network or application attacks, we can classify this particular attack whether external attacker has done or maybe internal employee has done. So that is, if you know about the range of the IP addresses, then only we can define about private IP versus public IP. Then we can classify. Next topic, we are going to discuss about ports and protocols. So ports and protocols, first of all, why we can use this topic and how we can correlate into our practical day-to-day life, mainly for communication purpose. So protocol is nothing but here rules and regulations. Okay. And what is port here? It is a port can be used for communication side. So every system or every laptop or MacBook or any server or database contains 0 to 65,536 ports. Those many ports, if are opening, then only communication will happen. So why we can use this one? Mainly for the communication purpose. If the ports are closed, we cannot communicate. We cannot access the application, or we cannot access the server, or we cannot access the database. And packets or communication, it will not exchange. So we are going to discuss about ports and protocols, couple of topics here. And very important ports are, so around 25 to 30. So regularly they can expect. So this particular topic is one of the hot favorite topic for our cybersecurity interviews. So they will ask couple of port numbers and you have to give the answer. That port number is belongs to whether it is application side or network side or endpoint side and so on. Okay. So this is not only for us, even for Windows administrator or Linux administrator, whenever they are going for any interview, they'll expect this particular topic wise questions. Ports and protocols is one of the very favorite interview topic. So once this one is going to complete, then we are going to discuss about LAN, WAN, MAN, and PAN, and couple of other definitions like a router and switches related to networking devices. Okay, so these are all the definitions I can provide. Anyway, that is from tomorrow onwards, I can start. Otherwise, I'll keep this topic on the top. So we are going to discuss about a couple of definitions. So because you should habituate these topics and you should feel comfortable. So that is very important. So that's why what I will do. So I'm going to discuss about a couple of definitions or acronyms or full forms in the tomorrow class. That will take approximately maybe 3 or 4 classes to familiarize what is meant by these definitions and where we can use and what are the full forms and what is the definitions or what is the acronyms and so on. Okay, so once this one is going to complete, next one we can going to start about static IP and also dynamic IP. So what is the difference between static IP and what are the drawbacks are there under the static IP, and why we have to go for the dynamic IP, and what are the advantages of the dynamic IP we are going to discuss here. So static IP drawbacks. To overcome the static IP drawbacks, we can go and we can use for dynamic IP. So the dynamic IP we can call it DHCP. Instead of the assigning the manually IP address to our networking devices, so automatically our DHCP server, a dynamic host configuration protocol, it will automatically assign the IP address to each and every machine. So that is the importance of the DHCP or dynamic IP configuration. So there is no human intervention is required. There is no dedicated human being is required. So once we are installing this particular DHCP server in our organization, so how many endpoints are existing, or how many servers are existing, or how many databases are existing. So this DHCP server automatically will assign the IP address to endpoints. Okay, so it is a time consuming, because static IP is time consuming process. To eliminate the drawback, we can use the DHCP server. And also there is no dedicated person is not required to assign the IP address. So that is one of the advantage. In the similar way, so couple of times we will go and we will make the inventory. So that inventory through Excel sheets, that inventory through maybe Word documents or PPTs and so on. So there are more chances are there on the typo errors, or maybe more chances are there entering the wrong typo data and so on. To eliminate all those drawbacks, we can go and we can assign the IP address automatically. So that concept we can call it as DHCP. So once this topic is going to complete, then I'm going to discuss about DNS server and also DNS records. So DNS server and DNS records, what is the functionality of the DNS server, and what are the different types of records we have to configure once the DNS resolution if they want to access, or whenever end user are trying to do the domain resolution or trying to access any website, how the DNS server, it will convert the domain name into IP address, or maybe vice versa, IP address into domain name. So for that one, we can go and we can create more than 10 records. We are going to discuss about those 10 records. And also we are going to discuss about, so what are the drawback of the assigning the, okay, so domain resolution in the manual way. So, and what is the host name and what is the computer name, all those things we are going to discuss under the DNS server. So it's for mainly domain name resolution. So nothing but whenever you are trying to access any youtube.com or facebook.com or maybe twitter.com or instagram.com or gmail.com, what is the backend process? How the DNS server, it will resolute IP address into domain name or vice versa, domain name into IP address. So as a human being, we can't go and we can't remember there are so many IP addresses. So that is the reason we can go and we can define the domain name instead of the IP address. So then we can assign that IP address to that particular domain name in the backend. All those resolution, it will be happen through our DNS server. So how that is possible? That is possible via through DNS records. Once this one is going to complete, we are going to discuss a couple of other servers. What are those other servers we are going to discuss here? Active Directory. So Active Directory, it's like a directory of the end users information, directory of the employees information. So directory of the our user machines information. So that may be HR team or legal team or maybe admin status or maybe Windows servers team or Linux servers team, application development team. So every team basically, whoever is working in our team or whoever is working in the organization, so everybody will fall under the directory. The directory, we can call it the Active Directory. What is mobile directory in our mobile? So it's a directory of the all the contacts, whomever we want to save it. So that is called mobile directory. In the similar way, Active Directory, it will provide the storing of the end user machines, storing of the employees machines, storing based on the grouping wise also, based on the team wise also. It depends on the several parameters, several factors. So that is one of the server, and this Active Directory can be implemented by our Windows administrator, most of the cases, otherwise network administrator. Domain controller. So once you are onboarding any company or any employer is onboarding any employee, in that scenario, that person should be available in that domain only. Otherwise, he should not access to the laptop or he should not access to the other devices. So how that is possible? That is possible through domain controller. Okay. So that is one of the server. This one also can be implemented by our Windows administrator or network administrator. Then we are going to discuss about other servers like SMTP server. This SMTP server can be used mainly for sending of the emails and also receiving of the emails. So that may be Outlook or Office 365 or Gmail or Hotmail and so on. So SMTP server can be maintained or implemented by our couple of organizations, maybe network administrator, and couple of places directly our email exchanging team will be there, or UCS team will be there, Unified Communication Server team will be there. So our email administrator will be there, our Outlook administrator will be there. So those people can handle all these inbound emails, outbound emails, what is the email we are sending, how the email we are receiving, so how to configure. So all those can be done by our SMTP servers team. SMTP server, there are so many alternative names and synonyms also there. So we can also call it as an email server, or we can also call it an exchange server. We can also call it as UCS server, Unified Communication Server, for communication purpose, sending the mails and receiving the mails. So these many things are otherwise directly we can call it Outlook or Office 365. As compared to Gmail, most of the organizations, they are using Microsoft Suite. Under the Microsoft Suite, Office 365 is our Outlook server. So that one we are going to discuss. It's one of the very important topic for phishing email investigation. Basically, almost all the interviews we can expect from security perspective. So one of the investigation name is called as a phishing email. So thereafter, we are going to discuss about database servers. So how the data can be classified, how the data can be stored. So what is structured query language, or MS SQL, or PostgreSQL database, or GridGain, or Couchbase, or Cassandra, or MongoDB, or Cosmos DB, and so on. So even database server is one of the very important server in the organization perspective. In case that server is going to expose or data exfiltration or data breach is happened by an attacker, obviously we can lose a lot of data. So this is what it's happened in 2019 at the time of the pandemic and Corona, 20th, I think 2020. HCL database service got compromised, and almost whatever projects working on the HCL company, all the projects are came outside. So then attacker was expecting $1 million of the payment as a ransom. So this is the way how the attacker will try to do hacking part, and finally our competitors of the HCL, maybe TCS and Infosys, or maybe Cognizant or Capgemini or Mindtree and so on. They will get know about what is the HCL projects and who is their clients. Everything will come outside. Okay. So that's why database server we have to keep safe and secure. For that one, we can implement couple of security controls also on the database server. It's one of the very important server. So next one, we are going to discuss about file server. So nowadays, file server, only couple of organizations they are implementing on the physical data center or on premise. But nowadays, everyone is storing of the data in the OneDrive or Google Drive or cloud storage. But especially in the banking sector, or especially in the healthcare industry or insurance sector, or maybe public sector like a defense or army or navy, they will not go and they will not store the data in the cloud environments. For those people, file servers are very important. These file servers can be accessed only through SFTP, and we can provide the access also through based on the group wise. So we have to provide the least privilege. So that is based on the privilege access management. So that is based on the file server. So next one, we are going to discuss about Windows servers. So Windows servers, why we have to discuss now? Whenever any security incident is triggered, how to classify whether the instant it's happened to Windows Server or whether the instant it's happened to Mac operating system or Windows operating system related to Windows 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 or 11, or maybe desktop or maybe laptop or maybe our Linux server and so on. If you know about the basic of our operating systems, so then only you can classify that instant it's happened to either end user machine or maybe that is Windows servers or Unix servers. So if you know about these basics, then only you can classify the instant. Then you can try to do the instant investigation and forensic analysis, business impact analysis, and risk assessment according to the our classification of the operating system side. So that's why we have to discuss about Windows servers based on the operating system wise, and also even Windows endpoints based on the operating system side. And also we are going to discuss about Unix operating systems or Unix servers. Under the Unix, once again, we do have the Red Hat Enterprise Linux, CentOS, Docker, Container, Ubuntu, SUSE, Feroda. There are so many classifications of the Unix servers. So those things also you should be aware of. So mainly whenever you are going for vulnerability management, so once the vulnerability report is generated, you want to make sure that classification based on the operating system wise. So whether it is middleware team or Windows team or Unix team, under the Unix, once again, which sub team we have to assign the tickets. Once you know about the classification, then only you can assign the proper way. Not only just assigning the tickets, even if you want to do the investigation also, you know about these operating system version types also. So those are the servers we are going to discuss. In case if anything I missed out, I will keep those servers also in this place. And also I forgot one server, web server or application server. So that may Windows IIS server. So it can be used and it can be exposed to the public. On top of this server, we can deploy any application. In this one, Apache Tomcat is one of the web server, or Nignix or Nginx is one of the web server. So this web name itself, it is saying that it is accessing websites. We can access through our internet. It is exposed to the public. Okay. So take facebook.com or phonepay.com or google.com or maybe zomato.com and so on, where we can deploy these websites or applications on top of these servers like web servers. So that may Windows or Unix or Apache or Tomcat or maybe Nginx server and so on. So this is one of the very, very critical server because it's facing to the internet. Most of the attacks will come through internet or through cyber. Okay, extra. So that is about our next topic. We are going to discuss about, so mainly servers topic. To know about basic of the servers and also classification of the instant and OS types. So these purpose we can go and we can discuss about all those. So servers differences. Next one, once this topic is going to complete, I'm going to discuss about couple of network commands. So these network commands, why we can use and where we can use, mainly for security instant investigation and also mainly for troubleshooting or implementation and fixing the problem. For example, maybe I want to deploy SIEM tool or I want to implement SIEM tool or I want to deploy EDR tool or maybe you want to deploy one of the router or switch or load balancer or maybe one of the server or database. Couple of times everything will not go with a smooth way. So there are so many problems, there are so many issues it will occur. If you know about these comments, we can go and we can do tracing is easily. So how to fix the problem? For that one, we can use couple of networking commands. Not only cybersecurity team will use these network commands. These commands can be used by Unix teams or Windows team or network administrators or network routing team, network engineers or network switching team and so on. Almost even asset inventory team also under the corporate IT. So those are all network commands mainly for fixing of the issues or problems. Fixing of the problem or issues or troubleshooting of the problem. Mainly for implementation side, we can use these things. If I want to give a practical example, maybe I want to deploy EDR tool or I want to deploy SIEM tool for our organization side. Unfortunately, somewhere logs are not reflecting in the SIEM tool. For that one, we can go and we can troubleshoot why the logs are not reflecting. So we can use couple of comments. So, and also we can use Wireshark analysis. This is what I discussed under the TCP IP layers. So based on these two things, we can go and we can troubleshoot it after doing the packet capture. Okay. So those purpose we can discuss about network comments. Next one, we are going to discuss about cyber kill chain process. So this cyber kill chain process, how the attacker will do hacking. So how he will enter into the organization side. What is recon? Selection of the target. So then how he will penetrate our organization side. So then how he can compromise our application or database or endpoint or network or cloud instances or a OT device or IoT device and so on. For those places, we can use the cyber kill chain process. So it's an offensive mechanism. When it's an offensive mechanism, so how the attacker will do hacking? For this one, we can use couple of steps or pages. Those pages or process or steps, we can call it as cyber kill chain process. It is one of the very testable interview question. What is mean by cyber kill chain process? Next one is MITRE attack framework. So cyber kill chain process is completely based on the hacking wise only. Attacker side, it will give the explanation. But MITRE attack framework, it will give combination of both offensive plus defensive. How the attacker will do hacking and what are the tactics and techniques and procedure attacker he will use. That is called TTPs. And also not only just how the detection, even to protection also. How the blue team or SOC team can go and can take care of the respective forensic analysis or security incident investigation. It's a combination of both. So this is one also, it's one of the very hot topic for interview prospective. So a couple of times they will ask, so there are 14 tactics under the MITRE attack framework. So out of that one, persistence means what? Or lateral movement means what? So data exploration means what? Command and control means what? So the definition, and also you should be aware of the what are the different techniques attacker can use. So this is one of the very important, and how we are utilizing MITRE attack framework in our organization. So MITRE attack framework nowadays, we are integrating to almost all the security tools. That may be SIEM tool, that may be our EDR tools, most of the cases. Whenever we are integrating, this is a practical use case. This entire question also, how we are utilizing MITRE attack framework in our organization. MITRE attack framework in my organization, I'm utilizing in such a way. So MITRE attack framework is integrated to our EDR tool and also SIEM tool. Whenever any attacker is trying to do hacking or attack, then automatically we can see about how the attacker is entering into the organization side, then what is the tactics he used and what is the techniques he used and what is the detection mechanism and what is protection mechanism. So this is the way I will get the end-to-end data as a logical flow diagrams or maybe physical path diagram. So this is the way how I am utilizing MITRE attack framework in my organization by integrating two SIEM tools and also EDR tools or XDR tools or antivirus tools. Okay, so it's a combination of both offensive plus defensive mechanism. Okay, what is offensive? How the attacker will do hacking? What is defensive? Like a blue team or SOC team. Once the security incident is triggered, how to fix the problem or how to do the instant response or instant investigation or forensic analysis. So this one also important topic under this one. So there are 14 tactics we are going to discuss. So next one, we are going to discuss about network and cyber attacks. So I'm going to explain about approximate 70 plus attacks. So that may malware category of the attacks or phishing email category of the attacks, or WASP top 10 category of the attacks, or SANS top 25 attacks, or spoofing or flooding category of the attacks, or authentication failure category of the attacks, miscellaneous category of the attacks. So these are all the different types of attacks I'm going to discuss. These attacks only we can do regularly security incident investigation. That may be in the endpoint security side, that may be on the network security side, that may be in the application security side, or cloud security side, cyber security side, and so on. It is applicable to these attacks almost all the security domains based on the demo whatever we discussed. Okay. So these attacks are very, very important, guys. So these attacks, you should know about the definition and also preventive mechanism also. Okay. Any security domain you are choosing, these attacks are common. That may be application or network or endpoint or cloud security or vulnerability management or maybe OT security or IoT security and so on. These attacks are common. So not even 70 attacks regularly we can see in the practical reality world, 30 to 40 only. But anyways, we are going to discuss about approximate 70 plus attacks. Okay. Now, whatever we discussed so far here, up to here only networking concepts. All these are networking concepts. From here onwards, security will start. So these are all basic networking concepts. These are all. I will highlight through some of the color. So these are networking concepts. Once the cyber culture process it is started, then we are entered into our cyber security or any security domain. Okay, from here onward, security will start. And by the way, all these concepts related to networking, basically CCNA concepts. CCN, Cisco Certified Network Associate, or CCNP routing, CCNP switching, CCNP troubleshooting, or CCI networking, or routing and switching and troubleshooting. All these are from Cisco oriented, most of the cases, because Cisco is number one company and they implemented all these concepts. So all these concepts are most of the case it is applicable to Cisco defined concepts. Okay. So from here, as I mentioned, security will start. And now all these are completely okay, basic for any domain you are choosing. That may be endpoint security. You should know about all these basic. And also that may be network security. You should know about all these basics. You are choosing vulnerability management domain. If you know about all these basics are mandatory. You are choosing application security. All these basics are common. Any domain you are going for, these networking and also attacks are common to all the domains. Okay, so that may be 15 or 20 domains whatever I discussed and I provided demo yesterday class. Okay, so now once this one are going to complete, I can show a couple of tools under these networking concepts. What are the tools I'm going to discuss? Practical and reality world. Nmap. It's a port scanning tool. This is also called GenMap. You can install this tool and you can practice it. In the similar way, I'm going to discuss about Wireshark is one of the tool. It is network traffic analyzer, fixing of the problem. All these are open source. There is no need to pay any money. Just we can go and we can download and we can install in our system and then we can practice it. So this mainly for the implementation level or troubleshooting level or administrator level. Finally, anyway, incident investigation also. So Wireshark is one of the tool. Okay. So these are the tools. It's a mandatory for networking concepts. So that is about the first concept what we are going to discuss. Let's start and going and discuss about domains now. So I'll start with infrastructure security. Under the infrastructure security, I'm going to discuss about vulnerability management. Hardly it will take 5 classes. Theoretical maybe 3 classes and practical maybe 2 classes, total 5 classes. Vulnerability management is mainly for the OS side or server side. But what about application side vulnerabilities or cloud side vulnerabilities? Cloud side also it is applicable. But application side vulnerabilities, we cannot go and we cannot do via through vulnerability management process. We have to follow SDLC life cycle. That is different story. So application side vulnerabilities, I can explain under the application security. It's mainly for the cloud and also mainly for the server side scanning and identifying the vulnerabilities and how to fix the problem. Dedicated to vulnerability management also, there are so many vacancies are available. Okay. It's very, in the entire overall security domain, easiest one is vulnerability management only. Approximate 30 members are working currently under the vulnerability management under my guidance. Okay. So it is hardly it will take so 5 classes or 6 classes, theoretical versus practical both. Okay. So now here, what are the tools I'm going to explain? Nessus vulnerability management tool and also Rapid 7. So Rapid 7 and also Nessus vulnerability management tool. These tools, possible Qualis or Rapid 7. Either of the one I'm going to show you. So these are all the practical tools. That is the first domain we are going to cover. So let's go and discuss about next domain. What we are going to discuss now, endpoint security. So by the by, once you are completing these topics, now you can go and you can apply vulnerability management vacancies also. But as I mentioned, these concepts are common to all these domains. So now you can apply vulnerability management vacancies and you can thorough in all these topics along with vulnerability management concept. In the similar endpoint security, under the endpoint security, here what I'm going to discuss or what we are going to discuss, EDR or XDR or antivirus, and what is mean by this one I'll explain later. Next one I'm going to discuss of DLP on the endpoint side, data loss or data leak prevention. In the similar way, file integrity monitoring. In the similar way, HIDS, HAPS, mobile device management, MDM, and finally data at rest level of the encryption. Nothing but disk encryption or voice encryption. So what are the tools I'm going to discuss here? These are all the endpoint security side. For EDR, we have so many vacancies are available. Yesterday, I was showing a couple of things on the CrowdStrike. When I opened the Naukri, you have seen CrowdStrike. One of the post is one of the job vacancies posted by EY, Ernest and Young. DLP also, we have so many vacancies are available. So file integrity mounting also, we do have the vacancies. And mobile device management also, we do have the vacancies. Yeah. So there are total approximate here itself, design, implementation, and operational support. Designing of endpoint security solution, DLP solution, file integrity monitoring solution, mobile device management solution, and so on. In the similar implementation level, I will provide the training and also operational support. What do you mean by operational support here? So taking care of the respective incident investigations. So as I said, this training is not only just giving for L1 or L2 or L3 level training, as I mentioned yesterday, up to architect level, I will provide the training. So it's completely up to you how much you can grab it and how much you can do the hard work. It depends on you. So even vulnerability management also not only just about only so running the servers and identifying the vulnerabilities and fixing the problem. It's not like that. Everything design, implementation, operational support. Once we are going to complete endpoint security, then I can start network security. Under the network security, I'm going to discuss about perimeter level of the security, that is also called as next generation firewall. So next one is secure web gateway, SWG or proxy server. And finally, I'm going to discuss about network IDS and network IPS. Everywhere we have vacancies, firewall, level 1, level 2, level 3. So secure web gateway proxies are level 1, level 2, level 3. NADS and APS level 1, level 2, level 3. Once again, not only just level 1 or level 2 or level 3. In the similar way, so network architect, network security architect on the firewall side. So proxy side security architect, and in network IDS, network IPS side security architect. In the similar way, firewall implementation guy, proxy implementation guy, network IDS, network IPS implementation guy. So this one also design and implementation and operational support. So here I forgot to tool names under the endpoint security. What I'm going to explain. So on the EDR side, Sophos EDR or XDR, or CrowdStrike, possible defender. Out of these three, I can provide only one or two. Then DLP side, I'll provide Forcepoint. Forcepoint DLP, it's the number one right now in the market. Maybe Netscope also, let's see. So these are the tool names. So here also I will highlight. So these are all the open source tools. So here on the firewall side tools, I can show FortiGate or Palo Alto, either of the one. If you know one, that is more than sufficient. On the proxy side, Forcepoint once again. Forcepoint proxy. So here, firewall. Okay, so that is about on the network security side. So next one, application security. So application security, why we have to discuss, as I mentioned yesterday, one of the program languages is a mandatory if you want to choose application security. But we need couple of topics for cybersecurity interview also. So those interview topics are SDLC versus SSDLC, software development lifecycle versus secure software development lifecycle. This is called as secure by design. Principles. So you should aware of how the product development, application development, mobile development, or OT or IoT development, how these requirement phase team, software architects or mobile architects or network architects, they will try to do the designing part and what is the CI/CD pipeline. So then what is DevOps and what is SecOps? Then what is cybersecurity important in the SDLC lifecycle? Okay, then what we will do under the testing side developers and programmers, what is site reliability engineering team they will do, and what is release team they will do. You should be aware of the at least basic. Next one is I'm going to discuss about cryptography. So cryptography, nothing but securing of any communication. That maybe you are accessing through email, that maybe you are accessing one of the website, or maybe you are accessing one of your laptop, or you are accessing one of your mobile device. Those places we can use cryptographic concepts. Nothing but SL over TLS certificates, SL or TLS fingerprinting, or mutual authentication mechanism related to SL and TLS. Then also we can discuss about symmetric cryptography, asymmetric cryptography, hybrid cryptography. So this one also hot topic for the interview side. So they'll ask what is symmetric and what is asymmetric, what is mutual TLS authentication mechanism, and client side and server side. All those concepts are very, very important. So only for this one, I attended one of the interview. Only for cryptography side itself, I attended one of the interview. So just we have to give the advice to developers. We can use this ciphers, we can use this SL certificates this side, and when the certificate is going to expire and so on. Next one is web application firewall. It will prevent all application side attacks. So here next generation firewall on the network level or perimeter level. It's like a gateway. So web application mainly for dedicated to application side attacks or websites attacks. Okay. So next one is WASP top 10 and also SANS top 25. So WASP top 10 is one of the institution or organization, and it will provide about application layer side attacks or application attacks. SANS top 25 also another organization or institution. They will provide about top 25 attacks. They will conduct some survey. They will take feedback from the different companies or customers, and finally they will make top 10 based on the CW score. And SANS it will provide top 25 attacks names. Okay, but which one is popular out of these two? Out of these two, the OS top 10 is very popular. Okay, now OS top 10 is not only for the application side. Nowadays they are coming to machine learning and artificial intelligence. That's called LLMs. So even WASP, what is trying to do? Initially, they developed WASP top 10 dedicated application side only, but nowadays they developed even attacks or how the attacker will try to do hacking on the LLMs, part of the machine learning and artificial intelligence, and also mobile side WASP top 10 is different, and the machine learning side of WASP top 10 is different. Industrial control system side, like electrical, mechanical, civil, OT, IoT, IIoT, those companies. So side WASP top 10 is different. So these are on the application side only I'm explaining, and mobile side WASP top 10 is different, and machine learning side it is different, and also mobile side it is different, and ICS side it is different. So that is about overall application side. Possible if any tool is available under the WAF side, I can show that one as well. If any free trial is available, like Akamai or Barracuda or Imperva or Azure WAF or Amazon WAF or GCP WAF. So then we can move to cloud security. So cloud security introduction nowadays everywhere, even they were going for cybersecurity vacancy, they are asking, do you know basic of cloud security or not? At least, do you know about cloud or not? So like a jock in all trades, one person should know about everything nowadays. This is the way how the interviews, and they are expecting everything for one person. So here I can explain about Amazon cloud security, native services or BYOL services. In the similar way, Azure side security services. So that is BYOL or maybe native services, GCP. Now GCP is acquired, one of the company name is called Wiz with $32 billion. It is becoming very popular. My guess or my expectation. So Wiz will give a lot of competition to Azure CNAPP and Amazon CNAPP or Cloud Security Posture Management Solution and Palo Alto XOR or Palo Alto. So Cloud Security Posture Management Solution going forward. So Wiz will become number one almost all the cloud security side. All the customers or clients compulsory they can go and they can use Wiz. It can be support for multi-cloud environment. When you say multi-cloud, it will support for Amazon, it will support for Azure, it will support for GCP, it will support for Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, it will support for IBM, it will support for HP Cloud and so on. So that is the beauty of the Wiz. Okay. So next one, cyber security. Under the cyber security, I will explain about SIEM tool architecture diagram and also backend process And also here I can provide design, implementation, and operational support. So how the SIEM tool we can design, how the architect he will go and he will choose the solution part. That may be Splunk or Azure Sentinel or IBM QRadar or Exabeam or Elk tool and so on. There are so many tools are available. Okay. So how the design or solution architect he can design the SIEM tool and what the implementation level from the scratch, how we can go and we can implement SIEM tool like a log onboarding, log integration, correlation rule creation. So after that, we can go and we can do threat hunting, SOAR capability, and instant investigation and forensic analysis. Totally end to end. And tools. So tools I'll provide Azure Sentinel and IBM QRadar, Logarithm, possible Exabeam. So right now these four tools, not only these four, Securonics also one of the tool. So these four tools are leading in the Gartner report. Almost all the organizations they are using either Sentinel or IBM QRadar or Exabeam and Splunk also. Okay, out of these three, out of these five, I can teach at least three. So like Sentinel one and IBM QRadar or maybe Logarithm and so on. So that's all, guys. If anything I missed out, any other domain like network security or cyber security or any other, those things also I can discuss. Let me check whether we covered everything. Infrastructure security, endpoint security, network security, application security, cloud security. This one I'll keep also product security or mobile. So these things are common for even mobile and also in for product also. Yeah. So tools already I given and couple of open source tools also I'm going to discuss. These are all mainly for regular security instant investigations and forensic analysis like MX tool, virustotal.com. So IP wide, IP abuse database, URL scan, next one is Symantec, URL scan, who's the domain, process monitor for manual malware investigation, process explorer, packet engineering studio. Okay. If anything missed out, I can go and I can see about those things as well. And regularly how to follow a couple of websites or blogs. Websites or blogs, what's going on all over the worldwide. So you have to go and you have to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes. So those websites, it is one of the interview question. How can you keep yourself up to date in cybersecurity domain or any security domain? So obviously I can go and I can read at least 15 minutes per day. I can spend on a couple of websites or blogs. Those blogs are dark reading, hacker news, ransomware live protection, mainly for malware side and the ransomware. Next one, CSO online, naked security from Trend Micro. Next one is ISACA IIC Square, European Council. So you can follow anything, that is fine. Either one website also you are following, that is fine. You are following multiple websites also, it is fine. India set, and finally US set. What is set meaning? A computer emergency response team. They'll give regular updates. Okay. So what are those regular updates? What's going on all over the worldwide? What are threat intelligence it is coming? Malicious IP, malicious domains, malicious hash value, malicious URL links. It's happening. And what are new attacks are coming? What are new ransomware attacks, new zero-day vulnerabilities, or new vulnerabilities list? All those information it will provide. Okay. So you are following one website, that is sufficient, because here and there, almost all the information you will get it. Okay. I forgot one more domain I want to explain. Infrastructure security, sorry, information security. Because nowadays, each and every domain, they are asking a couple of compliances. So we are going to discuss about GRC. We are going to discuss about ISO 27001, PCI DSS, HIPAA, GDPR, SOC 1, SOC 2, FedRAMP, NAST, Risk Management Framework, RMF. Next one, ITL process. Then SOX. Extra. There are so many frameworks. There are so many compliances. So it's mainly for auditing side. At least you should know about what is what. Because even for SIM tool also, they're asking about, do you have knowledge on the PCI DSS or not? Do you have the knowledge on ISO 27001 or not? Do you have knowledge on the GDPR or not? Okay, or HIPAA or not? At least you know about that one. Dedicated to this one also we have vacancies. So next one, BCPDR, Business Continuity Planning and Disaster Recovery, and Risk Management Framework, RMF. Yeah, and finally internal audit and external audit. So that's all, guys. This is the overall course content and syllabus. So that's why yesterday I did not explain, because yesterday itself we will explain that one. It will take almost 2 hours demo. So that is the reason separately I took it for today class dedicated to course content and syllabus. Okay. So this is what I'm going to discuss for next. It will take minimum, I can say 3 to 4 months easily. Okay. You can choose whatever field you want or whatever domain you want. You can enter into first any of the domain. Later you can go and you can switch over into so multiple domains, and not just on the operational support. How can you, I mean, how many days you will work on the 24/7 shifts? Here maybe your health also will spoil. Maybe conditional or atmospheric changes also it will become. Okay, so difficulties for our health. So that's why. So even we can go and we can think about auditing, and also we can think about vulnerability management, or we can think about, okay, so implementation side or architect sides and so on. Okay. So this is what overall syllabus or course content I'm going to discuss about next 90 to 120 days minimum, as per my knowledge. Okay. So that's all, guys. And so every day I will take the class at 7:30, as I mentioned. And once class is going to complete, today class name is called course content and syllabus. Within 10 to 15 minutes, I can go and I can upload that video here, and you can go and you can watch, and whoever is missing the class. And also better, one more thing here is, it's a better whenever you are watching the video. So just you can make your own notes. That really helps, because whatever I'm teaching, everything I can't go and I can't write it. Okay. So that is the reason. Couple of times you can make your own notes also. That is really help us. Okay. So that's all overall today's case. And after this class, what I will do, I can share one of the Google form, and just you can fill your details, like your first name and last name and mobile number and email address, so that I can share and I can provide the Google Drive access to you. Is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, guys. Then so we can catch you tomorrow at 7:30 a.m. IST.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, sir. Good night.